You want an investment edge, but all you hear is noise, hype, and half-truths. Every signal is solid information, but only if you can see the bigger picture. This is where the Quasar magic happens. Weather, charts, news, all financial signals, funneled into a single dashboard. Data alone isn't enough. Quasar Markets turns it into energy, sharp, clear, precise. Optimize with Quasar Markets today. Your edge when investing.
Good morning, Quasar Markets Live. Good morning, BigBeat. How you doing today, my friend?
Good morning, man. Howard. Apple website crashed. Not once, not twice, like 3 or 4 times this morning. Apple servers sales are high. That's all I gotta say. I think people are more excited than I think that Wall Street's letting on, and I think they're wrong. And I did it today, Howard. I did it. I bought the watch, the phone, and the new AirPods. All 3.
Wow. Look at you. Yep. What does Aaron Schurz think today? I don't know. I mean, you have been
on the dark side. You know, it's interesting. My friend Nick said something very interesting to me the other day. And I said this, you know, look, Apple does not innovate. And I've been saying that for a very long time, Howard, that Apple does not innovate. And I think you're seeing a lot of people saying the same thing, that Apple doesn't innovate. And they still don't. But Nick made a very good point that, yes, they don't innovate. They don't create the next cool product, right? But they make cool products better and more aesthetic. And now I think what I've been saying in the past is that the hardware hasn't kept up, right? That meaning that the Samsung, the Ultra has a 100 megapixel camera. But do we really use a 100 megapixel camera? And now Apple has 3 48s in the front. And the front facing, which is for your selfies, is now 18 megapixel, whereas the Samsung is only 12. So they are realizing, and Apple does better at video than Samsung does. So all of a sudden, you're starting to see them pivot towards the creation of content, of which is what we're seeing the world happen, right? The Unity softwares, how we interact in the world. Apple is starting to conform to that in a much better way. And I like that much better. So I have switched over. I'm going to, it's going to be like gripping steel out of my hands, my cold dead hands, because the thing is with us is that my phone is not my toy. It's my machine, right? It has to work every time. It can't mess up. I need to have the abilities to be able to multitask. And now I think I can do that with a watch and with a phone and with my AirPods. And the new AirPods 3 has translation. So we're starting to see the world get smaller, which is what the Quasar Markets motto is here. So I'm loving this. I think the stock price is way undervalued if this is the case.
Nice. Well, there you go. BigBeat switches over. Markets taking a little breather here today after a 617-point Dow surge yesterday. Dow closed above 46,000 for the first time. Steve, what are you thinking?
I think that the Dow hadn't kept up with the NASDAQ. I mean, when we hear the NASDAQ made a new high, the NASDAQ made a new high, NASDAQ made a new high, NASDAQ made a new high. It's been making new highs for the last 3 years. The Dow hadn't caught up. And over the last month or two, the Dow is catching up because there are these companies that are out there that, UNH was a good example of that, right? And so the Dow being a bigger manufacturing picture, right? And the president wants to be a manufacturing country, so it's catching up. But I've made it very, 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 very clear. I made posts about this, and I'll be on thestreet.com. I'll be on the TV show next week about it. Stagflation is here, and this is not a time to go invest in the market. Oh, the market's going higher. Keep buying. And I've heard that nonsense now. This is not cool. This is not where the market is. Yesterday, how much did we talk about yesterday? That the economy is not the stock market. People, relax. Understand that the economy is not the stock market. Okay? We've got to understand that doesn't always match up, right? And I'm going to talk about this, that, Keynesian theory here, right? Maynard Keynes, the market can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent, right? That be careful out there. The market could go higher, a lot higher, and then it just sells off. And we've seen that a lot of times. But I'm gonna harken back A little history lesson. Go back to the 70s and see what happened in the 70s when the market went up, 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 up. And the big theme in theory back then was gold. Nixon got us off the gold standard, right? And gold's a theme now, right? As countries are buying gold because they're concerned about war and all the things going on. We've got a real problem with Israel right now. There's a lot of countries that are not happy with Israel and the genocide over there. So you're going to see massive issues over there. So the world's not happy. So we need to be careful about this market. I feel like, again, I say it all the time. It's like the show The Price is Right. With the mountaineer going up the mountain, he's still climbing, and the lady just can't stop. She's excited about it. She's excited about it, and then the damn thing falls off the cliff at the end, and she loses all the prizes. Right? So, Howard, for the first time in a very long time, my parents called me and asked me about the market. Should we stay in? Should we get out? And my mom goes, I know what the answer is. I already know what the answer is, right? The answer is to get out, right? Yeah, why are you calling me, right? And this is why. Because when you start to see Main Street, the money people, right? The people that are the breadwinners now are having to protect the Social Security level people, right? So all of a sudden you've got this issue. So Howard, I think that the markets are not healthy. It's not a healthy market. We need if we are to go higher, we need a healthy pullback, and we need to get that. Oh, well, we had it a few months ago. Well, not really. It wasn't really a healthy full one, but we took advantage of it. And so here we go. I think to answer your question, I don't like this at 46,000, but I'll get my 46,000 hat. I don't know about that.
There you go. Morgan Stanley now sees 4 straight Fed cuts, Steve. That seems to be one of the things that may be moving the market up here. What do you think about that?
Right. 4 is probably the number. I think it's 25 each. that helps ease the president a little bit. That will get us into January, right? So it's a lot, right? You're talking about a full 1%, which in the housing market, you might get your wish, Howard, for your house, but honestly, it could be more, and if there is more, we've got a problem, right? If we have more, there's a problem, because that means that and we know the Fed was late. Honestly, if the economy was doing the way that it's doing right now, I'd tell the Fed to start raising rates, because they should have lowered them a year and a half ago, but they didn't do that, right? Oh, because of the inflation. Well, inflation is a sticky wicket, and now you've lost all these jobs. Now we know there's another million has lost their jobs. We've known this. Sorry, Fed, got to get real data, got to get real news. You got to catch up to the markets, right? And they didn't do that. And now they're playing catch up. Now they're in disarray. Now we know that Lisa Cook and her wonderful ways of finding the ability to finance her homes. The president did the same thing. I don't know why he's getting angry. He did the same thing as she did. And here you go. So now we are in a sticky wicket where I've said the word, and I'm going to say it again: stagflation. Rates are high, job losses. You have nobody with it, and right at this point, you're seeing 3 things happening. Number one is auto loans are at the highest efficiency rate, costs. You're seeing credit cards balances are at all-time highs. When you saw that in COVID, they were at the all-time lows. That's how fast we moved in just only 4 years, right? And then of course, there's a major disconnect when it comes to are just. I mean, I don't know. You tell me about your energy price in Ohio, but energy prices in Florida are outrageous.
Well, energy is a tough one because gas is down 6% year over year. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
how you look at energy, that's a mixed number. They do expect the cycle to end at a 2.875% terminal rate. So a little bit higher at the end of the cycle, in my opinion, than what most people are talking about, right? Most are trying to get it down closer to that 2%. Drivers, of course, of the softer inflation and weakening job market, and jobless claims 263K, the highest since 2021. You mentioned COVID there, Steve. And I just saw the CEO of IBM on, and he was talking about how he was at the U.S. Open, which they are, I guess, the major sponsor. And he was talking with all kinds of other CEOs, and where everybody is making up for the tariffs is in capital efficiencies by lowering headcount. And this was across the board, not even just in the U.S.
Exactly.
Canadian and Mexican companies that he was talking to, all the same thing there. So,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should be the IBM CEO. I mean, I said exactly the same thing he's been saying, and I've been saying it for months now. So, you know, it's terrible that we have to do this. I mean, this economy is not what we should be at. And the president's wrong about tariffs. I mean, you just got to stop. Now, guess what? The whole world's tariffing each other. It never works. In fact, now we've got now Mexico and China are getting at each other about raising tariffs. I mean, oh, yeah, sorry. Am I getting ahead of you? I haven't looked at the banners this morning.
Yeah, Mexico. Well, you can go right there. Yeah. So it looks like, you know, this two things from this is number one is this, you know, the West versus BRICS, and is Mexico saying, hey, we're going to side with the U.S. and, you know, we are going to economic war here between the BRICS and the Western countries. Number one. And then number two, did you know that Mexico is China's top car export destination? I did not know that. So it actually is a big deal, because at first I was like, who cares? So Mexico, who cares? China cares. So that's a big deal. So I do think that is going to be an interesting one there. Where I was going to go, you started and went a little too quick. Gold Fever, UBS has hiked their 2025 target again. Now $3,800. That's their fifth raise this year. You know, man, crazy. They're even saying mid 2026 forecast $3,900 an ounce. And gold has hit 33 record highs so far this year. You know, as we've been talking about the S&P and how many highs it's set, gold has hit 33 new highs.
Explain to me why people buy gold, or why do countries buy gold? It's a hedge.
Well, yeah, and that's been the other thing that's been a common denominator across the news today has been the dollar, the lack of interest in the dollar, the move away from the dollar, you know, just in general. So we'll have to talk with Mr. Flanagan more about it, because I've seen it on 3 or 4 of the different articles that I was looking at today, including one from Bank of America that talked about, Steve, institutionals, the hedge funds, they're already all in. You know, we keep talking about this money on the sideline, but they pointed out that they are all in at this point, less than 3.6% in cash.
When I said this last week, where's the money coming from? And I had a couple people saying that there's still cash on the sideline, that there's, you know, there's money still out there. I'm like, where? Show me where this money is. Show me where the money is. It money markets? I'm not seeing money market money. Show me where the money is. Is it in the bond market? Bond markets 10 years at 4.067. They're not putting it there. Where are they putting the money? I don't know. Where's the money coming from? Is it employees that are paying, and then there's social security money? What is it? 401ks? I don't see it. People losing jobs. They're protecting. They're spending it on. No, they're spending it on Bitcoin and meme stocks, right? And I'm okay with that as long as you understand what you're doing. But there's no cash out there. There's no cash. Everybody's cash poor. They need to stop the nonsense. So that's what I'm saying. If there's no cash to continue to prop the stock market up, someone's going to pull money out, and it's going to be a rug pull, and it's going to be fast and furious. And that's why we say it. I mean, you're close to him as I am. Well, maybe not, but Scott Bauer tells you buy protection when you can, not when you have to, right? You don't buy insurance the day after the hurricane. You buy it before the hurricane comes, right?
Yeah. I mean, and private clients now have 64.2 of portfolios in stocks, the highest level since March of 2022.
Yeah, and then what happened in 2022? We had a pullback. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like I should pick up the 33 record and pull it off of the machine, because the record keeps going around and around and around. It's got a big scratch in it. Look, I get it, and I've said this morning, right? Maynard Keynes, the market can be more irrational than you are, right? And you're liquid, solvent. So I agree with that. And I'll tell you, you may not like the guy. Warren Buffett says the same thing. These weapons of mass destruction is derivatives. These zero DTEs are causing massive volume pulls. I like volume in the market. I just don't like volume that's fake. I like real volume, and zero DTEs are not real volume. Look, I know that this is an unpopular opinion, but eventually this whole thing's going to fail. and it's going to fail in a spectacular way, and it's going to be nasty because people are tired of losing money, Howard, especially if they don't have any and they're losing their jobs. If people lose their jobs, what are they going to do? This is COVID where they're getting a paycheck from the government. This is where they don't have money to do. They don't have any cash. They're not going to buy zero DTEs. They're going to have to eat. So, look, I'm not saying the depression's coming, but I am saying that we could have some serious problems here.
Absolutely there. His new investment zeitgeist is ABD, anything but the dollar. Still pushing the big trifecta: bonds, international assets, and gold. So Bank of America definitely not on the bullish take at all there. So we'll see what they.
And you know what? Here's interesting. Here's what's interesting. Bank of America, BAML, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, is one of the biggest investors in what company? Bloomberg. They know where the money's going. They know what's happening. It's not that they're giving up. So you better take BAML serious out there. You don't have to take me serious, it's fine. Okay, but you better take the institutions serious. And in this case, yeah, look, I get a lot of times when they put stock up there, they're pushing their own. Oh. When you look at companies, what they own, their book, right? When they look at your full book, I have to look at it from perspective of not just what stocks they own, but what sectors are they in? Where are they moving money to? Right? Are they moving money from their bond portfolio? Because BAML has a huge bond portfolio, right? Are they moving it into energy? Are they moving it into AI? Are they moving it into what are they moving money around? The market's high. They're telling you there's no money out there. So Howard, they're telling you gold is a record high, going higher. That's if you're not going to buy the VIX as a protection against your portfolio, then they're telling you that their book is heavy with gold. They're protecting themselves. They're not stupid to hurt themselves. They're doing it to protect themselves. So I would be very careful out there. I'm not pounding the table yet, Howard. But I was in the Target the other day and I saw these Iron Man fists and I saw these Hulk fists. And I thought about buying one so I could bang on the desk and say, "It's time to get out or get in." I'm getting close, though. I'm getting close to banging on the desk securities.
Wow. Well, it is IPO Friday, and the busiest week we've seen since 2021 is ending with a bang. Headline act is Gemini today. You $28, $3.3 billion valuation. You getting in on some Gemini here today?
Well, Tyler and Bro, they have spent decades reeling over Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg, and they're finally going to get their wins here. They're smart guys, and they got their day in court and got some money out of it, but they did their thing. But let's be honest, how many brokerages are there for crypto, Howard? Right,
hundreds around the globe, thousands.
Right. I do like Gemini. As you know, I had money in Gemini at the very, very beginning, right after I got out of overseas, and then of course in the several exchanges. But well done for them. They were the first ones that moved, and they're also the first ones to go into memes and all kinds of things and really push the envelope. So I like it. Is it worth 3.3 billion? I think so. I haven't really dug into the numbers yet with them, but I can tell you that these are smart guys. They know what they're doing, and they have a deep connection to the administration. So, yeah. So they have a win-win situation.
Keep in mind, Gemini is the only exchange that's based out of New York City, right, because of the Department of Financial Services that it has more onerous rules than even the SEC or the CFTC. Yeah. There, so that will be interesting to see how they do it. I'll tell you what, they did a great job of pumping it this morning on CNBC. They even convinced Joe Clayman to get their credit card. I don't know, if they have a credit card, you get 4% back in Bitcoin. It was interesting before you start with, well, where's that money coming from? They made it very clear where the money's coming from. The same way that American Express has their reward miles and everything else, they're investing about the same amount. Most of it comes back from merchant deals and merchant connections and all this stuff. The thing that I found amazing, and I will be getting mine today, is that you swipe for your flat screen TV right now, Steve. Before they print that receipt, your Bitcoin 4% reward is in your Gemini account.
Oh, wow.
So
what happens if you return that TV?
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm sure they get you on the back end because they have the ability. It's in their exchange. It goes to your Gemini account, like I said. So they will still have control over it. But really interesting there. The part that Joe Clayman and that we're going off on was about exactly how is it funded, everything that you normally ask, and they went through and explained it, and he's like, I'm in.
I like Joe Kernan. I've had the opportunity to meet him several times.
He was in too. I mean, so that opened up my eyes that this might be actually a company that's hit on something here. That people like this idea of it, where you get your cash rewards, but the cash rewards in your account immediately, not at the end of the year, and they're in crypto. And you choose it can be any crypto they have on the exchange. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. So I'll be interested there to see what happens.
Howard, as the crypto guy, talk to me a little bit about the crypto that's on the platform, right? So is it everything? I want to buy green and purple.
Actually, I didn't want to correct you, but they're not in the memes because they're in New York.
Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to remember.
Limited the amount of coins that they actually have on the exchange, and their U.S.-based exchanges has one of the smallest amount of coins on there. They're international. The other thing with the Winklevoss that they've done well is they have good connections in Europe, and they are one of the bigger exchanges that is approved through the new MiCA, and they have all kinds of offerings over there with the stuff. So
yeah, good. I didn't know that on that side of it, so I want to make sure everybody's clean and clear on that. Yeah.
And again, this week has been IPA boom. Klarna, Figure, Leggings, BlackRock Coffee, Via, busiest week since 2021. And they've all done pretty well. Yesterday was Figure, which is a stable coin company. It's up like 23%. And what I liked is it wasn't a crazy number. It didn't do a circle and go up 300%. But these seem to be nice moves. So you're going to see more of them because the VCs are winning, right? Private equity is winning because everybody's buying. They're buying in at much lower than market prices on the first day.
Right. Yeah, totally. I mean, you want to know how good the market's doing? Look at IPOs. That means that the bookmakers, the Goldman Sachs, the Merrill Lynch's, they feel good enough and comfortable enough. There's enough cash out there to bring IPOs, and it's a big week, right? So, but the cash that's going into these IPOs, where's it coming from? Again, we have to ask the same question, right? And it's coming in margin. People are not buying these stocks with cash; they're buying it on margin. And which means that at some point they're going to cover that margin, and those IPOs 90 days later, guess what happens? They sell them. So let's see. Talk to me in 90 days, and I'll tell you how the IPO market did. I don't think that I do. Look, there are some real quality things here. BlackRock Coffee, right? That's cash flow. Klarna is not cash flow. Buy now, pay later. That's definitely not cash flow. Figure maybe, I don't know, but there I think, and of course we have to go back even further, right? Figma, where is Figma right now, with the stock? So if I look at Fig right now, Fig is at $56 a share, right? Wow, the top of that range was 143, right? So I'm not particularly going, ooh, look how great how the IPOs are doing right now. That's what I want to know. 90 days from now, I'll tell you.
Right. Absolutely. We are about 4 minutes from the open here. We'll get some of the tickers that are moving this morning. Tick pretty muted. Quite honestly, everything fairly muted so far. Qs are up 18 basis points. SPY is up 2 basis points. We do got some movers and shakers to talk about, though. SMCI up nicely here, 6.46%. They are starting to ship out their first NVIDIA data center stuff. What do you think?
AI. Adobe made a move into AI. I like it. SMCI said, okay, I'm in trouble, so I need to make a deal, and I'll make a really good deal with a company that's also been beaten up. Hey, let's get huggy and let's get fun and let's do something here. And they did. I like this. SMCI still has some accounting issues, so do not think about, got to make sure you pay attention to the accounting issues there at SMCI. But Adobe, I do like their AI. You know, Canva and these companies that are doing all of these pictures, and ChatGPT does pictures, right? But Adobe really digs deep into the picture itself. So if you want a much better picture, yeah, it'll generate something for you, and then you can manipulate it in a lot better than just, oh, well, let me type something different. Hopefully they'll come up with something nicer. Adobe already has all that background. I like that. Adobe would get really smart if they would join an OpenAI, or if they would come in with a company that does that. So I agree, Marilyn. I love Adobe too. I love Adobe products. Reader, I think they're a little expensive, to be honest with you. I think they would do much better. They lowered their prices and got it better for all around the world, because they don't sell well internationally, but they do very well here in the States.
And again, Adobe up this morning about 3.78%. Their Q3 revenue was $5.99 billion, up 11% year over year. EPS was 5.31, beat street estimates, and their AI-influenced revenue surpassed $5 billion for the first time. So they're ahead of the year-end target, and nearly 90% of the top 50 enterprise accounts adopted at least one of their AI-first innovations. So you might not think they're in AI, but they are.
Oh, they totally are, yes. Yeah.
You know, their Firefly generative AI and integration of third-party models with Gemini and GPT Image 1 is definitely helping them out tremendously, as they said, holding off AI native competitors, Canva, ChatGPT, and others.
How about a little shake of the hand and the pat on the back for me on silver? What did I say the price was going to go to? It hit 42.50 today, a little higher than that, and we're almost at 43. I still think we'll go to 43.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, absolutely. Steve, what do you think about Warner Brothers Discovery and Mr. Larry Ellison? I guess we know where he is going to spend his money here.
What have I been saying? Warner Brothers is very underrated, and I like what they're doing. I like all of this. I like Paramount. I like Warner Brothers. I expected this to have some M&A. I still expect even more M&A in this. We've already saw it with Disney and Hulu and ESPN and Warner Brothers. I like this. Right? I don't want 50 million channels paying 50 different millions of different. We already been doing that for a while. I want to get to, okay, we're about to open here. I think we are open here. And yeah.
SPY moves to the downside to start off with here.
Apple 230, so it's holding here.
Dow Jones opens up just below, back above 46 there. So it did open below 46, back up above 46K there. Love to see that. Q's just popped up nicely, a 0.25 percentage point there. So nice little pop on the Q's.
Oh, okay. Ron says 44 on silver.
There you go. Nice little jump up here. Gold at 36.48 here, moving to the downside slightly here. Bitcoin back at 114.952, so we tried to hold over 115. We did see the bulls liquidate the bears last night on the options expiry on Bitcoin. So we'll see if they keep their foot on the pedal today, or do they actually allow the bears back into the game. Ethereum back above 45.22 here. Question there is, can you stay above the key fib level at that 44.68 area? Q's up about 17 basis points here, move to the upside. Let's see what's going on with those movers. SMCI. Here we go. SMCI still moving back to the upside. Warner Brothers up 7.24%. We are seeing a little bit of profit taking here on that. Micron was up nicely in the pre-market here, getting a little bit of profit taken, not much of a surprise there, but still looking very strong today. As I mentioned, the Ethereum treasury companies were looking very strong today. SBET, BMNR, both looking really good. CoreWeave having a good day, up almost a full percentage point here, although we do see some profit taking. Again, this is part of the first shipment from SMCI. CoreWeave is one of the partners in those data centers. So they were getting some good news. Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz's crypto-based company that is making a big foray into Solana with their new fund, Forward, F-O-R-D. Forward Industries, not Ford there. Galaxy up about 2.84, while we do see Ford up about 15.23% here today. So those crypto treasury companies, they keep on coming and they keep on moving up. So that one is Mike Novogratz, Jump Capital, and Jane Street working together on that Forward technology. So I do think that will be a winner.
Love Mike Novogratz. I think he's very smart when it comes to this stuff.
Looking at the Mag 7 here, NVIDIA at 177.24. So it tried to make a run back above 180. Hasn't been able to hold there, though. Steve's Apple back above 230 here, up about a quarter of a percentage point. So that's definitely moving to the right side here. Microsoft up 80 basis points. Google pretty flat. Amazon down slightly. Meta down slightly. Tesla now 374.10. So it's at the upside of the week.
UNH up to 1% here, Howard.
Yeah, UNH keeps moving to the upside. I love it.
Solana up almost 5%.
That's all about the Mike Novogratz and Ford and thing there, and that's got a lot to do with it there. Yeah, we exited at 225 from the trade we were in my room. You know, a little early, but that was the spot.
Toby getting hit just a little bit here on that.
Bitcoin jumping back up here, 115,100. Does look like it wants to start trading back in that 115 to 118 zone as opposed to back down below. So that is good to see also. Tick still slightly negative here. Dow Jones, the one getting slightly hit. Still holding about 46,000, but down about 14 basis points. SPY is flat on the day. Qs have gone up about 14 basis points. Small caps getting hit pretty hard here too. Down 31 basis points is the rut. Gold continuing to move to the upside, 36.48 here. So continue to move up. And Steve's goal
like here a bit.
Like
a little bit pullback.
B2.
Yeah, there's a bit of a pullback here in the Qs here. See if it continues there.
Open Door finally cooling off a little bit here, down about 6% here today. But again, you know, after the huge gains yesterday, not surprising there. Cisco down about 1.6% here this morning. So the other side. Oracle down about 2.2% here, Steve. So, man, I asked if you were going to short it yesterday. You didn't. Look at that move down since yesterday's open.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, but I didn't make
33, 10% to the downside.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Wow.
I had a feeling I was going to do it. I just didn't. I didn't do it.
DraftKings getting hit pretty hard here, Steve. I didn't really see any real news there.
Yesterday, so.
Oh yeah, Steve. What's going on with the Commodores?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
They do not look good.
They looked terrible yesterday. Yes, they did. They looked terrible.
Their offense just isn't clicking yet. Such a surprise.
Something's wrong.
Yeah. See if we got what else is going on here. SMCI, as Ron said, still moving to the downside. Shopify down 1.25% today.
The bond 10-year is pushing up just a little bit here.
I mentioned crypto treasury companies. QMMM up 69.39% here and running. Here we go again. So
Amazon and Google are being probed by the FTC over search advertising practices. Just came out by Bloomberg here.
QMM up 58%. So you got a run in there today. Warner Brothers now up 9.43% at highs of the day. Liberty Global, which is another crypto, up 6.54. SMCI is now giving up half of those gains so far, so it is moving back to the downside. Crypto-based stocks all looking pretty good here today. MSTR up 75 basis points, Coin up 38 basis points, Mara, Riot, CleanSpark, Wolf, Hut, BitDeer, all of them to the upside so far. Like I mentioned, one that is not circled down about 3.49%, still trading at 129 though. Nice move up by SharpLink at 3.06 to the upside. And as I said, Bitminer up 2.43%, pulling back a little bit here today.
Everything's falling here, Howard. I mean, I just said be prepared. This is Friday. We've had a nice run. Expect things to pull back, but I'm expecting an even bigger pullback. I have to question Lululemon here. Lulu now down about 1.8% here. Are we getting closer now? We've tested that. Yeah, I know we didn't. We're going to test again that bottom down there, I guess.
Yeah, this is one you couldn't that I'm not interested in. I know you like them. I'm not a big fan.
I think it's a trading vehicle. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I just think their moat has gone, and the interest they traded almost like a meme.
I do not wear the clothes, just so you know, Howard.
Thank God for little things. Yeah, I've never owned a Lululemon, although the wife has a bunch of them.
Tick's about to go positive here.
I said it was positive. There it goes again. Q's still holding up. I mean, it's up. It's for the day so far, coming back towards neutral. Gold trying to get about 36.50 again here. Bitcoin battling that 114,900 area so far, and ETH staying above 4,500 remains bullish. Abercrombie and Fitch getting hit hard today, down 2.77%.
One of the things we got to keep our eye on is $1.9777 if it pushes back up. Jim Cramer now speaking with Apple CEO Tim Cook at the Corning plant in Kentucky, by the way.
I had to guess. Are they building the new screen?
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I like this new phone is I like this new Corning Gorilla Glass. I like it. I like it a lot.
They're putting it on both sides.
Yes, correct. And the watches too, I believe, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Because trust me, I drop things. I had to buy covers for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Q's are trying to put it here. But gold is too, 42.23 now again on silver.
Yeah.
So much for that sell-off there.
Bitcoin moving back towards 115 again. So everything's moving back up after that little drop-off. Steve, I did want to talk to you. We never got over to it. The Ozempic effect is hitting fashion racks as consumers or retailers are changing what they do there. And
Five things I said, right? With Ozempic and Wegovy and all the things, and I said, look, it'll be challenging for the alcohol industry. That's number one, right? And we're already seeing that now. Beer now really at the lowest level since I think since prohibition. Second thing will be clothes. Clothes will get smacked hard because I mean there will be a different type of clothing, right? Companies like DXL, the bigger people that are overweight won't be going to those. Plus size, I should say, plus sizes will get hit harder. The third thing that's going to be hit is eating. We've talked about that, right? Look, people want to go to better restaurants, eat for fast food. So like we talked about cake, all those companies, McDonald's are changing their menus for this, right? If you go there, you get less. Fourth thing, obviously, is habits of people themselves. So they're going to spend that. Look, this could be exactly where the money's coming from, Howard, for the stock market. If they're not spending money on alcohol, then we know the younger people generation are not going out. Yeah, they're higher end stuff. They are. We talked about that with you guys. But then, okay, they got more money to spend in stocks, right? In investments and gambling, shall we say. And the fifth thing that I think that the biggest thing that's the habits are changing right now is their daily routines, what they're doing throughout the day. And I'm a good prime example of that, right? Lunch, I would normally have a lunch, and I'm not doing that, right? What are they doing at lunch? They're reading books and all the things. I mean, I do that, right? I tell you, there's a movement. Now, there are some things that you got to watch out for. Eyesight being one of them is a side effect. I don't want to talk about all the side effects of weight loss drugs. This is nasty, but the cues are popping now here. But that could also be a problem too. So those are the 5 things that I think that we got to watch out for with these. But I people losing weight is a great thing, man. I think the whole world's happy.
Yep, absolutely. Tick still now negative 566, and outside of the Qs holding up, the other indices have moved to the downside. Dow Jones down 22 basis points, SPY down about 3 basis points, and the RUT down 34. So small caps getting hit harder. Gold regained 36.50 here, still moving to the upside. Silver, same thing, 42.20 here. So that tells you a lot. WTI 60. We do see oil moving back up a little bit here, up about 2% today, 63.045. Tick now negative 800. So selling off coming here. Ten years up 1% here, Steve, to 4.06 again. Isn't that a little contrary?
No, I mean I think they're pushing up because I think the bond money coming out of international, right, with the dollar coming 97.78. Let's see how that goes first, but not yet. Tick down 515 is really struggling on the struggle bus of the markets here.
Oh yeah.
Nvidia went green here though. Palantir up by 1%. 160.
Tesla running. Tesla's up 2.8%, almost 3.
I'll tell you another thing that you might want to look at too is as people get health conscious, they're going to go to the parks, right? The Disney parks, the Hershey parks. I think you're going to see a lot more at the parks than we thought that there'll be.
Makes sense.
Lululemon now down 2%.
500 here, still moving to the wrong side.
AppLove and APP now up almost 3%.
Let's see what we can here. UNH 358 here. Up 1.27% again.
Okay, come on, Apple. Come on, baby.
I'm watching Bitcoin back above 115 here, but not able to get the strength yet. Not seeing the volume. Like I said, when you were gone, Steve, I mentioned that there was a big expiry of options that were today, and the bulls won that.
Hey, GLW, I mean, Corning is up 3% here.
Yeah, I think because people are just realizing they make that glass.
Really? Just, if you don't know why it's GLW, the original name of Corning is Glassworks.
Glassworks. Yeah, if I had to guess, it's that they just figured it out. Although actually it's been on a great move here. I mean, actually, this is a hell of a stock over the since April. Went from 39, it's doubled since April.
All right, Q is slipping a bit here again, struggling. I think you got your areas now, trading range. Oil's chilled out now, 63.34 now. So I think that's also chilled out as well.
Trying to move up, but nothing really happening. Tick still negative here. Q's dropping a little bit more. Dow Jones threatening to go back below 46,000 here. SPY down 3 basis points. Rut getting hit. Not much movement though everywhere else.
All right, come on, let's go.
UNH still moving up nicely.
Yes. Okay, there we go, Apple. I think people are realizing that Apple is actually selling a lot of product today.
Yeah, you said the site was down, right? Were you able to get your orders in?
I did, but I had we went through AT&T and Amazon, did not go through Apple.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. Most people go through their provider, I think.
Apple doesn't care.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't care.
On the phone.
Okay. All right. So we're now hearing, obviously a few minutes ago, we heard this, that Charlie Kirk's shooting suspect is in custody. Tyler Robinson, 22 of Utah, but the new news is that the family turned him in.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good. Yeah. I exactly with you there.
Violence is never the answer anywhere.
Tick still negative. Qs are holding up.
Yeah, it's interesting that you got your weeklies here. Is this the next level of this weeklies? Being pulled off here 2 o'clock this afternoon, 3 o'clock, somewhere around there, depending on if you're Robinhood or if you're E-Trade or whoever you're using. I really want to see the afternoon here. How about OpenAI? The realignment there with their nonprofit getting $100 million stake. I mean, whew.
A lot of controversy over the nonprofit.
Yeah.
There, OpenAI, and we didn't talk about. I actually had it in my today about AI, NVIDIA and OpenAI multi-billion-dollar UK data center push.
Yeah.
Going to be unveiled during President Trump's UK visit. Jensen Huang going to join the trip as the sovereign AI race, does it. Picks up sovereign AI. That's what everybody wants, right?
What is Cramer doing? I think it's very arrogant of us thinking of AI as being a U.S. product. It's arrogant of us thinking that crypto is a U.S. product. It's everywhere, right? And it should be. It should be democratizing data to everyone. We should all be, to be fair. It's not fair. And I like this. A smarter world is a smarter place. I want to live in a smarter place. I don't want to live in a dumb place, right? I don't want to be pouring Coca-Cola on plants to see if they grow. That is a dig at, one of my favorite movies. I won't mention it here, I guess. But man, Jim Cramer talking about Apple here right now. Jim Cramer loving on Apple here makes me nervous.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
Antonio Costa, one of the guys that I follow here, I'll post what he's posting now for everybody here. He's talking about quantum names, and he's totally right. I agree with that. I'll post it there for everybody there, including the ticker symbols there. He likes these. He likes quantum computing, and so do I. I really like quantum computing. I think quantum computing is the next thing. Look, I talked about AI for 15 years. I was very early in the AI business, as we know. That's why I started a company. But the quantum computing is definitely necessary for the next level of this. Wow, look at all the numbers of people watching us today, Howard. Look at that. I love this, man. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe, repost us out there. I appreciate everybody out there. We've been crushing it. We've been doing quite well. We know this world, this market pretty well, and have been doing quite well. So we appreciate. Listen, my big heart out to everybody here, right? I love everybody out there that's supporting what Quasar is doing, and we got some really cool things coming very quickly, very soon. That it's going to surprise the world, not just a few people in the companies around me, but in the world. We've got some big things, and we're going to be talking about that over the next few months. What's coming. And it's world changing. And I know people will say, "Oh, but I'm there, baby. Look at the Qs pushing here. We thought that was going to happen." But I really want to say thanks to everybody else and get ready. Strap in. It's going to be a wild ride over the next 20 years as we build out the largest platform in the world. Yes, I'm going after the big ones. So here we go, Howard, and joining everybody else. That's the best part. Is it's creating an ecosystem. This is not being competition. It's creating an ecosystem with other companies. We're in cahoots with. It's about everybody out there. And I love that. Look at this pop there now on Apple, almost the highs of the day there. For those of you listening to earlier today, I'm excited about that. So,
yep, Apple making a move back towards the highs of the day. Microsoft making a nice move to the upside also. Tick still pretty muted. It's gone positive slightly here, but we do see the SPY now up 5 basis points. Q's back up towards the highs of the day, up 17 basis points at 585.09. So moving back up nicely. RUT's the one that's still moving to the downside.
China just came out. The Commerce Ministry now says that they affirm it's clear, and they are talking about their TikTok issue following legal procedure here, saying that they have a clear and consistent stance on TikTok and calls on the U.S. to resolve concerns through dialogue. Okay. Interesting there.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. Oh, man.
They remain firm in protecting its firm interests. Okay. All right. There you go.
Rigetti now up 12.61%. So people listening to Antonio Costa, same with Qubit. Qubit up 6.04% here. So the names that he had on that quantum computing site, some of those moving up already.
Yeah.
You have YSEC in there. This was another of the ones he had in there, YSEC Global, I believe.
If we could break 231 here, I'd be a happy camper here. That would be, I think that's over yesterday's high. Is that right? On Apple.
Yeah, it's already broken yesterday's high.
Yeah, so there we go.
High or low.
Let's go. 231.07. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom.
Hit 232.25 is your next resistance. Then you look for it to fill the gap.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I think we're going to fill that gap. It's a big gap to the upside, and I'm excited about that.
Definitely getting some love there. Definitely getting some love.
Oh, China says that it attaches great importance to data privacy.
Oh, right, yeah. Whose data privacy? Theirs?
Yeah, their data privacy. Yeah. Don't think so.
And why do I get 742 texts a day asking me if I made a Coinbase trade?
Okay, well, here we go. Apple is trying to push here, and it's still high today.
31.25. It's pumping right now. Apple definitely a runner here.
Tesla now at 4.21%. I'm getting nervous about Tesla up here. This might be the time to. I know you're going to say don't fade the Musk, but somebody's faded the Musk a little bit earlier today. But this thing's getting out of control here. That God candle from the last few days. I mean, this is 350 not too long ago. Now it's 384. Only what, a few days ago. So I mean, we might be getting out of control here on Tesla. There we go. Get that, close that gap there on the 231.20 now on 231.
Dell rebounded nicely up 1.72%. Arista Networks down 5.8%. The laggard on the day. Did they have no earnings? DraftKings getting hit again hard today. Like I said, down 3.75%. Oracle down another 3.11%. Teradyne down 2.89 here.
Q's down the highs of the day, Aaron.
Yeah.
And we're back below 231 now on Apple. There just seems to be some people that want to sell into Apple. I don't really right now. I don't really understand that selling because there's new products means more services. So I don't, I like this. And I was just asked a few minutes ago my thoughts on why I moved everything over, and I said, well, the key here to me is the multitasking, right? The watch, the Vision Pro, the Mini Mac. I can do that. My main computer, as everybody here knows, it's going to still be Microsoft. It's still going to be a big bad Dell because I need power. But when I'm out and about, it's the mobility, and I think that's a much better. But I have an iPad too as well. Come on now, I'm not that hard on Apple. I do need to go. It is 10 o'clock, Howard. I got a meeting here, but yeah, take us home.
Okay, everybody. Have a fantastic day from everybody here at Quasar Markets. Markets looking pretty good. Bitcoin moving back up 115,300. Q's up 19 basis points, and we will see you bright and early on Monday morning, everybody.